There was a battle at the bridge. There was a battle at the bridge. There was a battle at the bridge and Stanford Bridge. Today, therapy. We are reviewing Chelsea versus Tottenham Hotspurs. Oh my goodness, what a fiery, feisty, fun game to watch. Today we're not talking about the lime green lunatics, right? This game was therapy for me. It was so good to watch. Here's the thing, I just got to give the flowers to the managers, Antonio Conte, Thomas Tuchel, coming in with that fire, coming in with that energy, coming in with that passion, coming in with that. They are the flowers, baby. Ah, I feel like this is about they're about to set a new stand, a new what's the word? Like a new sort of it's that new battle between the managers to watch because we're gonna be watching for the next handshake the next time, right? They play again. It's gonna be really interesting. It's gonna be so obviously there's also the flip side of the story that like Conte used to be sitting right there where Thomas is sitting, so there is that for him too, so and he's this animated Italian. Don't mess with. Oh man, what an so the things that were that really like struck my interest were here. VAR right now is being talked about as something like super ineffective, and okay, what is VAR? Video assistant referee. What's a VAR? What does that mean? That's the assistant, right? If you are Anthony Taylor, you're looking at the corner area, right? And you can't see something that's happening like, 5 yards away from you. Fine, whatever. Um, this is like literally Christian Romero clomping Kukureya's hair and then dragging him down. And you know what? The video assistant, the assistant who's supposed to be give the referee a second perspective, a second. So he goes to see that, and nothing is given. The rules need to be amended. All right. Here's the thing. I understand it can only be given if it's something that's going to be a straight red card, and somebody like some offense like that is criminal. But I guess in Anthony Taylor's eyes, it's not criminal enough to to reprimand. So that just means the law, the implementation of it has to be tweaked again. Because I believe this is something that's going to need finessing and refinessing and refinessing until it really, really works well for the game. So at this moment in time, I just feel like for that incident, VAR failed the game, failed to achieve its purpose. So it's like one of those things where you're wondering like if something has the potential to fix some other injustices, then why not go ahead and do it? You know? So I hope that gets fixed. And also, I hope that they check Anthony Taylor's bank statement because I'm sure Antonio Conte is going to be sending him something. So it means like Kukurea, you pretty much have to cut your hair, my man. You're going to have to be bald moving forward because they're going to go for the hair, you know? So anyway, we'll come back to you. So the second point, talking point is so very, very interesting game. So Harry Kane switches the ball to the other side, to the right side of the field, Kulusevski's side, and then from there, some passes happen, and then Richarlison drifts into an offside position, and then Edward Mendy, he's obvious. He can see the ball. He can see Hoiberg about to hit the ball, and obviously Koulibaly does a remix version of the Harry Maguire's, when you stick your foot out. But anyway, Koulibaly was respectable because like the shot was already being ended. The distance between him and the attacker made sense for you to do that as you try and stretch and make yourself big. And what also is interesting is that now Richarlison, he also moves to like this sort of position where he nearly actually blocked that ball. He nearly hit it and it was going to go off target, but he was not directly in front of Mendy's eyes, but he wasn't in front of his line of vision or line of sight, as they say, but like he was there in the soft focus area. So the question is, does Richarlison's presence affect a goalkeeper, in this instance Mendy? Does it affect his decision making when attempting to save that ball from Hoiberg? Because like your answer to that, then like it just so I it's such a very tricky situation, tricky blurry little loophole. So the answer obviously is, in my opinion, is that he doesn't really affect his decision making, but he is also like in the general area where like he shouldn't be there. I don't care if the ball didn't touch him. Okay, he should not be there, and that should not be allowed to be a goal. But anyway, we're gonna move on to the next talking point, which is so it's like this. It's like, for me, the way I view the game, right? It's like 90 minutes, right? 95 minutes, whatever added time is there is. But like you have that period of time, and that period is divided into phases of play, right? And the way that game was like, so every time a whistle blows, that's like another punctuation and like, or another petition of like, okay, first phase of play, second phase. So between um if you fragment all those phases of play and separate them, and then sort of like look at like how many phases of play favored which team, the Chelsea bag would be like so heavy, and that's just like the way. I mean, obviously, yeah, that's the home team. You're expecting the home team to dominate, and Chelsea in general play a very, possession based type of football that is also like, a little bit difficult for any forward to sort of like adjust and get into, and sort of like, what's the word, and sort of like, get chances, because as a Chelsea forward you're probably going to get like two chances in that type of game, and pretty much all one and a half chances, in the whole 90 minutes, and um yeah, that's like a topic for another day. But the thing that close the button on that thought is just like, as a Chelsea forward, life is tough, for a Chelsea forward. Period. It seems like that central striker position, especially, is just cursed, and not a lot of people. It's a certain specific type of profile player that's like excels in that position. You have to have certain grit, a certain workhorse fighter type of aggression and mentality, and also sometimes be able to, so look at Drogba, look at, like, Diego Costa type of, like, he can, like, incite, the other team or the other center backs and engage them and almost like make them, mess up in that play. So anyway, so it's very interesting to see that, like, now that Lukaku and Timo went to their respective clubs, and they hit the ground running, and it's just quickly, and it's just kind of like, wow, it plants that seed for me to be like, tinkering Tuchel, what is going on with your offensive coaching? I mean, it means the guy, I mean, obviously he's got a great defensive record and lots of clean sheets. I think one of the managers with like a lot, the higher number of clean sheets or highest number of clean sheets right now. So Tuchel is he's a very interesting manager. But also I feel like um I might make the claim today that like he might be one of the next big managers of the big top six clubs. Him and Arteta, one of them is gonna get the X. Maybe even before the World Cup. I don't know about that. Like it might maybe be at the end of the season. Who knows? Maybe but like one of them is not going to be looking good, bruv. So, anyways, as my friend KG the comedian uh, says, so yeah, Chelsea's phases of play were favorable to them, but like they didn't also create like Kai Havertz had one text message from Reese. That was a text message because that ball pretty much arrived. So all the way in the far right, in the flank, the cross arrived to where Kai Havertz's feet were in between the two center backs, and all he had to do was just aim the goalkeeper, just put that ball on target. And Kai Havertz hit it. I mean, maybe he was surprised that the ball I could actually get there, but like he's Reece James, you shouldn't be surprised. That boy can whip a ball, and that boy is a baller. That boy played many positions in this game. It was very, very interesting to see the tactical maneuvers that Tuchel was doing, because sometimes with JC would find him at center back, sometimes you'd find him at right back, right wing back, with Loftus Cheek, to the right of him whenever he was at center back, and so it was very, very intriguing tactically in that way. The other thing to mention is that on Tottenham's side, they were struggling to put a sequence of 10 passes together. Chelsea was somehow just like first to the ball, winning the first, second ball, winning any duels, winning. It was just crazy. Like Son would somehow, get double or triple teamed. Tactical like that. Chelsea was on the day technically and also physically superior. Now, the reason why this game is so interesting is you don't have to be excellent to get a result. And this battle at the bridge was a true testament of that. Like, literally, Tottenham. So after the controversial Højbjerg goal, right? First of all, let's talk about that first goal real quick before we get to the third goal, because I just want to just give flowers to my man, Koulibaly. He has arrived. He has arrived. Koulibaly gets the flowers. Koulibaly gets the praise, baby. Because you know what? That boy, he just came to the Premier League and he brought some volleys with him. He tried a couple of volleys, and you know what? One of them went in, and it was a striker's dream type of volley. Like the way he hit that ball, whew, whew, whew. Lloris could only, Lloris could only watch, and so he deserves that. Seems like the Senegalese flag is being raised high, also by Mane over there. He also had a good weekend, and in Germany. Hey, watch out for Senegal in the World Cup. I feel like if they make it past round of 16, they might even go all the way to the final. But anyway, we talking the battle at the bridge. So all right. Koulibaly, that was an amazing goal. The second goal obviously was it was like pretty much like the battle was like this, right? Okay, all right. Chelsea go bam on the forehead, and then like Spurs was like, hold on. And when it took them a while to get to it, I feel like it was in the second half. That's when, like, they got that Hoiberg equalizer. And then from there, and then it just kind of just went like, you know, and the third goal came from, where did the third goal come from? It was obviously Chelsea. Just a few. Oh my goodness. Oh. Then we have to. I'll get to Conte and Tuchel in a second, but the energy, and like, it was just so beautiful to watch. It was just amazing. I had a good time. It was just kind of like this football. I was thinking of Patrice Ever. I love this game, and with that little, saying, anyway, for anybody that doesn't know, um, uh, the phrase that Patrice, has. But anyway, I, the way the energy was just so, like, you know you even watching through the screen, I felt like I was at the stadium. And then you see how, like, the first kind of like bust up between Conte and Tuchel, where they literally, like, almost, they come close to each other, and they got to get separated, and there was the celebration, right? And then now you're kind of just like, okay. um when Chelsea had the advantage of 2 goals now, and there were two goals up. I mean, 1 goal up, and they Conte would, like, put his head down, start, like, thinking, oh man, is it gonna happen? And then, like, the with, like, about 8 minutes to go, you know, ah, that was just such a you could sort of feel, like, deep down. I was like, I feel like Spurs might just come out with a little result right now. Like, it was just kind of like in the air a little bit, but it wasn't like Chelsea would still, like, the phases of play were all favoring Chelsea still. All right, after that, they'll be like, the ball success for Mendy. Somehow it's almost right there. They Chelsea know how to maneuver the ball to the opposition's to the final third, pretty much. They know how to do that. And it's always interesting to see, like, how the people at the end of the attacks, like, even the unsuccessful phases of play where it was like they were close to goals, like, you'd have, Jorginho just hitting pinging a ball, and then Loftus Cheek is the one trying to go for that, aerial ball. And you're like, okay, that's Loftus Cheek. If Herrera gone in, that's Loftus Cheek scoring, and then, like, something else would happen in another. Sterling, oh man, you see, Reece James is such a baller. He kind of just comes in with the ball he drifts into the box, and then, what's his name? Sterling pretty much just gets a clear shot at goal, and he hits it high. Now, obviously, like, he had to do some dribbling, and then obviously the adrenaline in the moment, but that's the kind of, like, sniff. That's the closest sniff of goal that he had. And yeah, because that ball was actually, I think, like, it went to Kai Havertz, and then Sterling took it from Kai. It was more like, you know, the ball came to where Sterling was. But the you know the this just boils. I mean, it just kind of circles back to the point that I was talking about earlier on, of just, like, chances are pretty bleak for a Chelsea forward. But it's somehow interesting that Tuchel finds a way to tactically set up his team that in a way that, like, the chances are distributed to various players that play in various positions, and it's not always that, like, it's the forward, you know and whether that's a consequence of, like, actually not having an effective number 9, or if it's just, like, a choice in his style of play, I don't know. But it remains to be seen, because the transfer window is still open, and Todd was there, seeing Todd was there clapping from the stand, seeing the effects of the fruits of his labor. I wish the Man United transfer department can just take a page from this. So this game was interesting in that way. We saw Kukurea give that assist to Koulibaly. Guess what? Kukurea was he in Chelsea last season? No. Koulibaly was he in Chelsea last season? No. What does that tell you? Investing leads to a payoff. Investing in the right players leads to an even bigger payoff. Now, Kukurea was a hot prospect in the market. Like Pep had been chasing him. We know Kukurea handed the transfer request, trying to get the Pep situation figured out. And you know what? Chelsea, they've been bending over in Barcelona, and they were screwed by Barcelona a bunch of times. And the beaches out there, you know, anytime they try to get Kunde, they try to get whoever they, Barcelona was just like, Chelsea, what, Rafinha, you know, they're just like literally snatching him, and now Chelsea is out here snatching people. Pep, you want Kukurea, so I applaud Chelsea and how they're moving right now. And look at that. Their investments paid off. And guess what? Spurs figured out if you are one goal down, you can still get a result because the game ends at full time, baby. And it was 7 minutes in, 5 minutes in. And we starting to get some warnings because what? A Tottenham Hotspur investment was paying off. You have Perisic crossing in swingers, dangerous in swingers that are just like going straight to the near post. And that's going, if you don't know what danger look like, go watch Perisic's corner kick delivery because they have a set piece specialist, okay? And they invested in one and they got one. Now, and it's only going to pay off. Watch Spurs get goals, lots of goals from corners. Spurs are crossing a lot this season, a lot more than usual, and they've got the players for that. So I'll just say this to the Manchester United transfer department. It's a secret, but from watching the battle at the bridge, I'll just say Eric Dyer. For real, Eric Dyer. Here's why. Okay. So Eric is 28. Eric plays center back. Eric has played in the Premier League at CDM and actually made the shift to center back under Jose, and he can easily go back to that if we get him. Does he have good distribution? Hell yeah. Does he have good anticipation? Hell yeah. He can play right back, even though like maybe I wasn't playing him there. Like he doesn't have that pace that much. Like he's played it before professionally though. So Eric Dyer, multifunctional or multi-positional player, good free kick in the boy. 28 can give you a good 3.5, 4 years at various positions. Give you that technical fluidity. Whatever you need, like him to move to CDM, he could move to CDM. Do you see how Thomas Tuchel is moving in them games? He's just like, all right. Is this you, Reese? Okay, Reese. Let's use this. Is this you, Reese? All right. Reese is right here. Next thing you know, Reese is right here. Next thing you know, Reese is receiving a ball in the box, like pretty much just outside the box and scoring. That's a player that was playing center back, right back, and right wing back. And now we're talking about modern day fullback. That's your flowers, Reese. We need a player that's a baller, a better baller than Reese in our team. Because anyway, this is not meant to be about Manchester United at all. So I'll just end the show with my favorite segment, Troll Time. And it is just a simple thank you for joining me on this journey. And I'm just going to say, hold on, Exhibit, before I dip, hold on. Exhibit has something to say. He says, why must Ten Hag choose Slabhead Maguire as kept? Exactly. Oh my goodness. Exhibit, we're gonna have to make another separate stream for Manchester United because this was supposed to be about the battle at the bridge. But and I'm just gonna say, Kukurea, here you go, fam. It's gonna be a long season. I mean, I don't want you to cut your hair. I want you to express yourself because it's a statement of your individuality and your style and you. But here you go, my guy.